I guess it had been a few years ago. And one of the questions that I would always ask myself growing up was, why did some people have like way more money than other people? If you never asked yourself that question, you never been poor. If you never looked around and said, well, man, wonder why they over there at the McDonald's and we ain't never got no money to go to McDonald's. I mean, this is kid, right, thinking. If you still in that same place and you an adult, you need to grow up. But when I was a kid, I used to always think, why does this person always have new clothes? And why does this person have a bigger house? And I remember going to one of my classmates' house and just being astounded at how big the house was, and nobody lived there but her mother and her father. And as I got older, Tony Robbins always says success leaves clues, right? And if you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure you share the broadcast. Ask the mentees, Chanel, to stop by and share the broadcast. But Anthony Robbins always says success leaves clues. So if you ever wonder why somebody has something you don't, all you have to do in order to get what they have is start to study them. So one of the things that I started to do was I started to watch rich people and say, what do they do differently than I do? Even as early as in my 30s, rushing from work to pick the girls up from school and seeing all these rich people and saying, OMG, how are they showing up at the school? How are they doing this? How are they doing that? And I'm rushing from work, right? So I started to watch. I would stop by and I would talk to the parents and I would ask, so what do you do? And the number one thing I realized, even in working at the bank and seeing the people who have, multiple deposits into their bank account, plenty of revenue, always seem like they're going on trips. I started to watch these people. And what had occurred to me was that the mass majority of these people, they worked for themselves. They didn't have a Mr. Charlie at their job that they had to report into. And a lot of us, we have things happen to us and we stop working for ourselves for whatever reason. Not realizing that work is work, whether you're working for yourself, good morning, Nicole, or whether you're working for somebody else. But rich people work for themselves. Point blank, period. And it's not a side hustle. It's not seasonal. It's not every now and then. Rich folks show up, create their own industry, create their own revenue. They work for themselves. Wealthy people work for themselves. And let me tell you something else about rich people and wealthy people. They expect abundance. They're not surprised when abundance comes their way. We've gotten to the point, y'all, that we've started buying other racist stereotypes about us. And it's a shame that we believe what other people say about us instead of believing what the word says about us. We're surprised when blessings come our way. We're surprised when revenue comes our way. We're surprised when we get blessed. And I always ask people, why are you so surprised to get a blessing? Why are you not waking up every morning in expectation of a blessing? Why are you not waking up every morning expecting to have ideas that generate revenue for you? And it's because, I'm gonna tell you the real reason, The real reason is because you're hanging with broke people and you have a broke mindset. Everybody you hang around go to a job, so you go to a job too. Everybody you hang around owes the bank for their house, so you owe the bank for your house too. Everybody you hang around is making car notes, so you making car notes too. Until you start hanging out with some people who are doing things differently, you're gonna keep doing things the same way the world does things, and that's the broke way. And that's the truth. And I know it's hard to realize that there are people who are making it and not struggling, but your struggle is your choice. It's how you get up every day. It's what you choose to do with your time. It's what you choose to do with your intellect. It is 100% your choice. You can either work hard or work smart. Whoever told us that working hard was the way, they lied. I'm not saying the work's not hard, but it has to be hard work for yourself. So I'm telling you, wealthy people, they don't expect to be broke. Donald Trump has no expectation of ever being broke. Joe Biden has no expectation of ever being broke. They have money. It's just what it is, and that's what it always will be. And we look the other way. We have expectations of going to a job. We have expectations of just having enough. And so until you start to shift your mindset about what you really have to do to be wealthy, and start to watch wealthy people instead of watching them same broke Joes and Janes that you hang out with, things are going to be different. Let me tell you what else wealthy people do. Wealthy people plan their money. They plan their money, they plan their vacations, they plan their cars, they plan their college, they plan their life. The fastest way to get from beyond paycheck to paycheck is to start making a plan. That is the quickest way. That is the fastest way. You want to get from beyond paycheck to paycheck? Start planning. Start planning your taxes. Start planning any and everything to do with your life and your money, and see don't things change. You know, when we said we were going to have this wealth planning session, I thought people would be knocking down the doors to get there, but I'm amazed. I guess people say they don't have no wealth to plan, which is really and truly sad. Because if nothing else, I'm gonna go just so I can see what I need to do to come back the next time with a plan to create wealth. So you need to grab your ticket now at www.blackgirlprofits.com and get your ticket so you can sit down and plan your wealth. It's not gonna just happen. Because I'm gonna tell you what else. Wealthy people save their money. Wealthy people not only save what they have coming in, they work not to spend no more. Wealthy people are super cheap. I'm not even gonna call them cheap, I'm gonna call them frugal. They're not gonna be eating out every 5 minutes. If they buy something, they're gonna buy it on a coupon. They gonna take a car and ride it till the wheels fall off. They said up until about 5 years ago, Jeff Bezos was still riding some Toyota, something or other. Warren Buffett still lives in his same house that he bought 30 years ago. Rich people ain't trying to upgrade nothing but their bank account. What are you trying to upgrade? What are you doing with your money? And you know, let me tell you what really makes people truly rich. What really makes people truly rich is that they create their money. That's what richness is to me. When you say to yourself, you know what? I want a new car. I'm gonna go find $50,000. You know what? I want a new car. I'm about to go find $100,000. That's what real rich is. Real rich is knowing that whatever you want, you can get it in the palm of your hands. That's real rich. Good morning, Dr. Carolyn. That's real rich. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, make sure you go share this broadcast. Real riches comes from knowledge and action. Real rich doesn't come around just because you carrying around a stack of money. That's not real rich. If you want to be really rich, you need to start looking at every idea that crosses your table and saying, how can I turn that into some money? How can I turn that into an opportunity? How can I turn that into some revenue? That's what real rich do. You want to stop robbing Peter to pay Paul? When I hung out with people that robbed Peter to pay Paul, that's what I did. Everything you do is exactly because you've seen somebody else do it. That's why you need to be at this wealth retreat, so you can spend some time talking about money. You can spend some time making friends with money. You can spend some time, being immersed in a financially and prosperous environment. If you always have lack mindset about money, you're going to always lack money. So for the first 200 people only, go to www.blackgirlprofits.com. You see it on the screen. If you use code SAVE10, all uppercase, SAVE10, you get an opportunity to come to the wealth retreat this weekend. And let me show you this amazing journal. I'm going to come back later and do a preview. But since you guys are here, look at that. You may ask yourself, why do you need a wealth planner? You need a wealth planner because you need to be deliberate. Stop writing your things on napkins and stop guessing about how you're going to retire or where's your rainy day fund. So this wealth planner is something that you can use not just now, but that you can track your journey going on, and you can get this free at www.blackgirlprofits.com. When you buy your ticket to the wealth retreat, use the code SAVE10 and you'll be able to get a copy of this planner. Isn't it amazing? The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. And if you don't write down what it is that you're looking for, how you want your money to operate, always have a plan. Have a plan for your revenue. Have a plan for your abundance. Have a plan for the things that are coming to you. If you don't always have a plan, then you can always plan not to have it. So go to www.blackgirlprofits.com. Use the code SAVE10, all uppercase. Grab a copy of this planner. And Sunday night during the VIP session, I'm going to be walking with you about how to use this planner to build wealth in your life. So don't miss out. www.blackgirlprofits.com and use the code SAVE10, all uppercase, I'm going to get out of here because I got work to do. But I just wanted to encourage you guys that if you want something to occur differently in your life, you got to start acting differently. You got to start looking differently. You got to start walking differently. And as a matter of fact, you need to find somebody who's already doing it. Find somebody that's already doing it and follow their lead. Okay. Love you guys. Have an